presentation for our joint project. This is the trailer for Rihanna's film trailer.
I'll try it.
Pretty much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. What's it doing? Yeah, it's just not there. We have to show it, don't we?
I have seen it. I have actually
Oh, you've seen it?
to peek,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. It's alright. Panic then. And these are my 5 film print adverts I've done for Rihanna's trailer. What was the project? For my final major project, I decided to create 5 film print advertisements as I'd be able to show off my skills. Another reason I decided to do this area of media for my project was that in Unit 4, when we created print adverts, my outcome was very successful, and since then I've been able to improve my skills. I was also able to use my photography and editing skills. The genre of film adverts that I advertised was a zombie thriller film, which my partner here created a trailer for. To come up with this finalised idea, we came together and read through the brief thoroughly so that we could consider all aspects that we need to follow. For example, we need to think of an original idea that was suitable for the age group that we needed to target our work at, hence why we chose to do a thriller for our trailer adverts.
For my final major project, I decided to create a short film trailer for a thriller zombie movie. I wanted to use a range of different camera angles and shots that fitted with the scenes to build tension. We also discussed what we will need to do in our productions that would give our work a professional standard. This involved considering the camera angles we used and ensuring our skills using different softwares for editing were up to a high standard. Target audience and how we met their needs. Thinking about the target audience, we met their needs by looking into the genres of film that the age range set by the brief of 15 to 19 kids. I'm mostly interested in by carrying out research through audience primary and secondary research.
I made my product suitable to this age group by ensuring my images and language I used in the text was mature but also acceptable, ensuring no strong inappropriate language was used that would offend anyone. I also was careful about how graphic my images were on my adverts.
I met their needs by making the trailer realistic and relatable, which would keep them intrigued. I also wanted them to be slightly scared but also gripped by the concept of the trailer. I did this by explaining the story but leaving it on a cliffhanger to keep them intrigued. Research findings and how this impacted our outcome. We both carried out audience and market research in the form of primary and secondary methods to get the most detailed research to help us with finalising ideas and changing parts of our plans so that we could have the highest accessibility. We carried out focus groups and questionnaires as primary research to get outside views and opinions.
The focus groups and questionnaires impacted my outcomes as this finalised my compositions for my adverts. The secondary research that impacted the final outcomes of my project was I found charts and rates of when the best time to release would be and when the peak of viewings for thriller zombie films was during the year. That we found was during May, so we set the release date during this time. Also from conducting secondary research, I was able to choose the lighting type that I would use in my studio images to get the atmosphere I was looking for, which I used in my final pictures for my adverts, which was low key lighting as it enhanced shadows, giving an unpredictable, creepy look.
My research definitely impacted my original idea and helped me develop my idea for the better. Researching the main audience that watched the genre of film, I was adding. Researching the main audience that watched the genre of film. I was adding to change my thoughts and ideas about the characters and their characteristics. The research I did, which focused on the market, I found a small gap in the market for a film about a cure and about the start of an apocalypse. Even though these ideas had been used, I changed the original ideas I had to make the trailer different from others I had seen.
Okay. The production, success improvements and the feedback we got. The actual production stage for this project for me was successful and was completed in good time due to the amount of planning and organisation I had prepared for this at this stage of the project. As I'd done my planning documents in such detail, I was able to take my pictures and edit to make the final products in a short amount of time, as I knew what I wanted and what I had to do to be able to complete my adverts to the standard and the look I wanted. The lighting on my images were exactly what I was aiming for, so I believe this was a success. I also think that the text, font and colour I used was successful as it links to the genre of the film. My images are also the focus point of my advert, which is exactly what I wanted, so I count all these points successful. Some improvements that I think that I could carry out if I was to do this project again was I could have possibly added some more creepy backgrounds as that could be faded, so the images could still be focus point, but they wouldn't look as plain as they currently do. I could also look at possibly using even more camera angles for my images. These successes and improvements were also stated and pointed out by the people I carried out my focus group with, where I got a lot of constructive feedback that also gave me further confidence into the success of my work.
Showing my final trailer to a focus group really helped me to see it from a different perspective, as they all had their own opinions about it. I feel it was a success, as all the members of the group knew what the storyline was and were all intrigued to find out what happened. The focus group said I could have improved by adding in more black screens to explain the storyline further. They also said I could have made each scene quicker and I could have used LED lights to control the lighting in each location. Overall, the feedback was good and they all seemed enthusiastic about the trailer.
Summary and conclusion, cast brief. Overall, I believe that my project that I completed for my final major project was, was very successful. I believe that my project fit within the requirements stated by the cast brief. I believe this because I have conducted a professional and original idea which fits within the target age group set by the brief of 15 to 19. This is proved by the research I carried out in the beginning of this project before I had made any final decisions. My work also fits within the brief as it states that all print-based work must be carefully edited with no spelling mistakes, which my project correctly carries out as I spell-checked all the text that I used on my adverts. I also edited my images in Photoshop cleanly. There was also a production duration boundary of 5 to 8 images needed for print work, which my 5 print adverts fall into.
In conclusion, I feel that my final outcome for the project met the requirements given by cast. I believe this because I've created a professional and original idea that I expanded on to create my final trailer. This fits the target age group set by the brief of 15 to 19. This is proved by the research I conducted in the pre-production of this project. I also kept to the brief when it said no longer than 5 minutes. I created a short trailer which lasted a minute and a half, which I feel is a good duration for a trailer as it is quick but still long enough to tell the storyline.
Thank you. That's it.
Nice. You know, you said so you were really careful with your posters.
Yeah.
You spell checked. Did you also do a grammar check on them?
I didn't have any punctuation really, so
Okay.
I just
Okay. Nice. Fine.
Yeah.
All right.
okay.
All right. Well done. Nice.
Thank you.